Hello.
I'm going to try and Ravi Kiran.
Yeah, Ravi Kiran is my husband's name. Yes.
Okay. All right. See, this is where I get a little bit confused because in different countries, the surname can change, and also what you take from your parents can change as well.
Yes. After marriage, we change our surname, and sometimes so if surname is very big, lengthy, so we make people pronounce only husband's name. So it's Amita Ravi Kiran, but my surname is Shanbog.
Okay. Yeah. And by the way, if you're hearing sounds in the background, there's a little girl, and we'll probably give her a glass of water instead of she can't do two things at the same time. But anyway, that's the sound you hear in the background. Now, you came to Belfast with your husband.
Yes.
How many years ago?
8 years.
And when you first came here from India, from southern India, you were saying?
Yes.
Okay. What sort of shock was it to the system?
It's cold. And that time it was 2010, and when I came, within a week, that heavy snowfall, that minus, I think 17 that year.
Well, minus 17 is, it's quite...
It is. That time we were in Newry, and that is a shock. One of a sudden snow. I never seen snow in my life. And yeah.
And when you came here and you sort of, and you, did it take you a while to settle? I mean, apart from the weather, did you become part of a community of Indians that were already here, or did you have to blend your way into society here?
No, when we were in Newry for 2 years, and there my husband's colleagues and all, a few Indians were there, and we had nice time together. Then once we moved to Belfast, it is a nice cultural blend, and I learned many things, and I gave to community many things. Yes.
Did you find it difficult to understand? I know we speak the same language, but we speak it in a different way.
Yes, because in India, every 20 miles we speak different accent or language, so it's definitely difficult. But we have a common language called Hindi, so we used to communicate with that, and my English was not at all good that time, so yeah, it's a bit difficult even to see the GP or asking in a banks or everywhere I go. It's a bit difficult for a while, but then I'm okay now.
Yeah. So how do people learn? How do you improve your English? Do you do it through the just knowing people, or do you do it formally?
I think no, not formally, but yes, talking with kids maybe it improve, because my kids started schooling here. So yeah, I used to talk them, so okay. That's why I think it's getting better. And I used to do a lot of art and craft workshops in community centers and schools, and kids never like tease you; they correct you in a good manner. So I learned.
That's an interesting thought. So and of course, they just pick up, they just are like a sponge when they pick up languages. Yes. What I would like to do is, I didn't start off this way, and that's by saying thank you to Eileen Chanhu, who's sitting quietly in the corner, very unlike Eileen, and she brings in this wonderful variety of people, because I don't know much about the people until they come in, and then I get a flavour of the communities and the style and how different it is to be here. So Amita, you've got yourself settled here, yes. But you have lots of passions, and I love the things that you put up on Instagram.
Yes.
Instagram, okay. But the two biggest passions you have are music, singing, and cooking.
Yes.
So I'll leave the other one, I'll leave the cooking to the end because I'll get too hungry. Okay. But for the singing, is it Indian songs? What do you perform?
Yes, I studied, like I learned initially, and then I studied music. I did graduation in music, Indian classical music. Then yes, I participated in many reality shows in India. Yeah, that's
reality shows. Yes. So I mean, dare I ask, did you have any element of success?
Yes, I was a finalist. I was not a winner, but yes, I was a finalist.
You're a star.
I can't say star, but yes, I made a quite significant name in music. Yes,
I'm going to have to get some links from you to play something.
Sure, anytime. Yes.
Yeah. Do you have anything? Did you release anything? I mean, like CD?
Last year we did a project with people from my region. Like I can say it's Karnataka. We speak Kannada. Kannada is a language for us, and many people live in England and UK. So many other people also who speak my language, and all they wrote songs. And someone from India composed. He's a very famous music director, and I lent my voice for that. That was the I'm
disappointed now. The fact we should have got you to bring something in with you, and I played. I had a flavour of what you do. I'm going to have to definitely. We'll get something for a future program. Now, let's go on to the main thing a lot of people think about: Indian food. I just know I go in and I tend to order the same things because I don't know much about it. Okay. But you know, are you a savoury cook or a sweet cook?
Everything. When it comes to cooking, I love everything. Trying, and I'm foodie too. So yes, and I got a very good companion. Like my husband, he always like a good critic for my food. So I got nice friends, companionship. So they also eat and they let me know how is it. So I improve my skills and learn so many things.
Is the food that you would cook at home or for other people different to the food you get in restaurants?
Definitely, yes.
So we're getting a Northern Ireland variation of Indian cooking.
Yes, because I as I told, I was in Newry for 2 years, and I hardly get Indian vegetables there, and mostly like Brussels sprouts I never had in my life until I came to Northern Ireland.
Some would think that's a good thing.
Yeah, and broccoli I never had, and asparagus, no. So I tried every local vegetable into Indian curries and Indian version. I made sweets with beetroots and so many things. I have a big album of those all my preparations.
And I was talking about the food that we have here, which I thought was authentically 100% Indian. You mentioned the fact that Vindaloo isn't even it didn't originate in India.
It's originated in India, but it's done by Portuguese, and Vindaloo is fermented meat dish, and it's done with a pork. So a lot of garlic and a lot of red chilies. But what I think no one tasted the original Vindaloo. I studied folklore, and I studied a bit of folk recipes and these things, and lost forgotten recipes. So how I come to know about this thing.
Do you know I'm going to become your best friend?
Sure.
I say nothing about Indian food. I have the same food, and I'd love to find out more about it. So maybe you can educate me.
Yes, sure.
So you're well settled here. You're very much part of the community.
Yes.
And you've got a passion for all sorts of different things. Let me see. I wrote down from your site: be healthy, origami, folk art, embroidery.
Yes.
Cakes, the best one, of course. And what's Mundgod? Mundgod.
Mundgod is my place where I am from. It's my town. It's a very remote place, and it's a very special place because we have every people from India there. It's a very small place. We have Tibetans who is refugees, and government provided place there. So we have a variety of places. If you go to their area, you can't say you are in India or in Karnataka or Mundgod. It's a totally Tibet.
It's a real mix, and Belfast has become a real mix as well, and that's why Eileen's very good at bringing in this diversity, because people like yourself, they bring colour to our community. So, okay, checklist is find out more about food and become a very good friend of Amita, and she's going to educate me. I say these things, and then she can't say no on the air. Anyway, listen, thank you for coming and giving us a flavour of what you do. And your daughter's been nicely quiet this time, so I appreciate that, and I say thanks to Eileen as well for bringing you in.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a real pleasure here to carry on with the music.